Hello, awesome third graders. Miss McCormick back again. I sure hope that you're doing great on your spelling test and reading your words so smartly because you're learning a lot of phonics patterns. This week we're going to have the oi sound, but I wanted to show you a few things first to remind you of before we get into the words. Always know your syllable types. So we're going to have a lot of closed syllable types, and we need to make a few syllable types that are closed, and I'll show you why that's happening. Remember, a closed syllable is a single vowel. Single means one. A single vowel followed by one or more consonants. We put a breve on the top because the vowel is short. That one is ah. We also will have C and G are going to be followed by an E, I, or Y. And so the C will say the S sound, the G will say the J sound. And that's going to come up a few times in our list, so it's important to know. But here's the rule about the oi sound. We're going to have oi. O-I is going to spell oi when it's at the beginning or the middle of a base word. So if you see it at the beginning or the middle of a word, oi is going to be spelled with an O-I. O-Y is going to spell the oi sound at the end of a word. There's a few exceptions, and one of our words is an exception, and I'll tell you why that's happening. The last part of our words are going to have the ow sound. Ow is going to be spelled with O-U at the beginning or the middle of a base word. And ow is going to be spelled with an O-W either in the middle or at the end of a base word. And I want you to notice how many times the ow sound is spelled with an O-W and it's followed by an N, L, or E-R. So that's when we'll have the ow in the middle of the word, as if it's followed by N, L, or E-R. Typically. Otherwise, in the middle of a base word, ow is going to be spelled with the O-U. Well, let's get started on our words. We're going to start with the oi sounds. Oi. These. O-I and O-Y. Oi. I'm going to do the O-I words first, just because the oi is either at the beginning or the middle of the word. And then I'll do the O-Ys, which have the oi at the end of the word. So I've organized the words for you. The first word we'll do is choice. Let's sound it out. Ch, oi, s. The first sound is ch, ch. It's a C-H. Put it in one box because those two letters make one new sound. Remember, these boxes represent sounds. So, ch. The next sound is oi. It's in the middle of the word, so it's going to be spelled with an O-I. It goes in one box. Oi. The next sound is s, but it is spelled with a C and a silent E. Because a C followed by E, R, Y will say the S sound. So what I'd like for you to do is circle the C and the E. That's going to help you remember that rule. C followed by an E, R, Y will say the S sound. If you want to, off to the side, or if you have room up here on the top in the box, write the S with the lines, which means that's the sound that it makes. Choice. The next word is avoid. I will avoid the mean dog. Avoid. Is spelled with an A. It's actually the schwa, which is an upside down E. Let me write that word. Let me spell it correctly. S-H-W-A. That's schwa, and it says the sound. In words like around, about, those words are spelled with an A, but they're pronounced with a schwa because that is the unaccented vowel. The next sound is V. It's the V. Oi. It's in the middle of the word. O-I. D. Remember the D, D, D. Sounds like a drum. My tongue is tapping on the top of my mouth. D, D, D. That reminds me the bubble comes first because a drum sticks out in the front in a parade. So we make a magic C, up to the top, down and bump. D. There's two vowel sounds, this one and oi. So we have two syllables. The syllable break is right here, and that's why that is an unaccented syllable, a vowel. That's why it's a schwa, which is the sound. Avoid. The next word is poison. Stay away from poison. Oi, z, n. The first sound is p, p. My lips are closed and I pop the air. The line goes under the writing line. The bubble sits on top of the writing line. If the bubble of your P is not sitting on the writing line, please erase it and write it correctly. The next sound is oi. It's the O-I in the middle of a base word. Z. About 65% of the time, the Z sound is represented by the S. So we'll write it S. The next sound is It is spelled with an O. It is the, let me draw it as a schwa, upside down E. I didn't draw that very well at all. And the next sound is It's the N. Poison. This is a schwa sound because it is a scribal O. Scribal O. And teachers, if y'all want to look that up, it's a very interesting story about a scribal O. Way back when the monks and people were writing, the scribes were handwriting books, the way that they wrote their letters, they were really, really, really close together and they looked very similar. And so the U and the N right next to each other looked really similar. And so they just put a top on the U to make it an O, but it still says the sound. So that's probably why that says the sound, because it is a scribal O. Poison. Two vowel sounds. The syllable break is right here. Poison. The next word is appoint. Appoint. I will appoint a new judge. That's the schwa. With the unaccented vowel. P is the P. Oi is the O-I in the middle of a base word. My tongue is up, my lips are open. T. Now, this is two vowel sounds. This one and this one. Point. P goes with oint for the second syllable. But to make sure that this is not a long A sound, because it would be an open syllable. Remember, an open syllable is a vowel at the end of the syllable, and it would make a long sound. So to make sure that this is not a long A, we double the middle consonant, which would be the consonant right after that A. The syllable break is right here between the P's. So now AP is part of the syllable. So now it's a closed syllable type. So it's not going to be long. But we only say one P sound. That's why it's still in one box. The syllable break is between those two P's. Point. When you look it up in the dictionary, you'll see how it's separated when it's written out as a word, and you'll see the pronunciation and you'll see the separation of the sounds. So we double the middle consonant to protect the short vowel in front of it. The next word is broil. I will broil some fish. Oil. The first sound is b. My lips are closed. B. I pop the air, come down from the top down to the bottom, and then I make the bubble. The bubble sits on the writing line. B. It's the R. Oi in the middle of a base word is O-I. O is the L. Start from the top, go down. Broil. The next word is employ. Employ. Oi. Hey, I hear the oi sound at the end of the word. That means we're going to change the spelling. The first sound is eh. It's like I'm smiling, so it's eh, it's the E. Push out, up, down, and around. The E has to sit on the writing line. My lips are closed, and then I pop the air. My lips are closed, the line is first, and then I put the bubble on the writing line. Oh. Oi at the end of a base word is spelled with O-Y. Some students have problems writing their Y. Everybody watch how I do this. I make a V, and then I come down and I make that a long tail. Let me show you over here. I make a V, it touches the writing line, and then I go straight down on that line and I go under the writing line. That's how you write a Y. Employ. Is a short vowel, it's a closed syllable. I've got consonants here that I break it between. Employ. We'll do 2 more words on this video, and then we'll go to part 2 video. The next word is annoy. My brother annoys me. Annoy. Oy. Is spelled with an A, like about and around. It's that schwa. Oy. At the end of a word is O-Y. Annoy. Now, annoy. Noy is the second syllable, but we got to make sure that people don't think that this is a long A sound when they read the word. So we double the middle consonant, so put 2 N's in that same box. The syllable break is right here. You can either put a dot or a slash mark. I put a dot usually because it doesn't affect the other boxes that are around it when we're doing these boxes. So we double the middle consonant to protect the vowel in front of it, to keep it short, or in this case it's a schwa because it's an unaccented syllable. And the last one, I want you to draw a heart out here on the outside of this line, because this is a word we're going to have to learn by heart. In other words, we're memorizing it because it does not follow the rules. And the reason why it does not follow the rules is because of its word origin. Its word origin is Middle English and French, and so it's got a lot of unusual things going on. Excuse me. The word is voyage. I will take a voyage on a ship. Voyage. Let's sound it out. Oy, j. The first sound is a the V. Oi. Usually in the middle of the base word is O-I, but this word is spelled with an O-Y. Boy. The next sound is I, like a ball goes in the hoop, I. It's not spelled with an I. And this word, because of its word origin, it is spelled with an A. I know it's unusual, If you want to, you can do the sound slashes and put an I in the short mark, the brief. I, boy, I. The next sound is J. We don't spell it with a J, we spell it with a G because we're going to make a silent E after it so that it will say the J sound. So it's the G, make a magic C, up and touch, down and curl to the front, and a silent E in the same box. The silent E is not making the A say its long sound, A, because it says it in this word. The only reason why the silent E is there is to make that G say J, like gem and giant. So I want you to circle the G and the E so that you can remember this rule. Alright, I'm going to stop the video now. That is the words that have the OI sound, OI in the middle of the base word, and OY at the end of a base word. There are some exceptions, and the word voyage is one of those exceptions. Alright, let's pause, and then we'll do the OW sounds.